Does this ever happen to you? Things are going great, you wake up, you have a really simple part to install, and then everything goes catastrophically wrong? I've been having one of those weeks this week, and it's been a very interesting start to the year. Let's start with the good part of the week. I finally got some silicone hoses to replace the two coming off the charge pipe. These hoses connect to the diverter valve and the N75 valve. There's a small one and a fat one, and it's a pretty simple install. My hoses look incredibly worn, and I have a hunch that there's a few vacuum leaks along the way, so I'm going to replace them. Plus, it's a great cosmetic upgrade to the car. When you're buying hoses for your engine bay, there are a few ways you can go. You can order custom hoses, which generally fit the make and model of your car, or you could order the right diameter hose and just fit it yourself. The main thing you want to worry about is making sure that you order the right temperature grade hose. Some hoses are only rated to handle air, while some are rated to handle oil, and it really matters which one you pick. Since these lines only carry hot air, I need to worry about that temperature range. Replacing these is a really simple process. Really, there's 4 hose clamps total in the entire process. Boost leaks and cracks in these pipes are incredibly common just because this pipe is one of the hottest pipes in the car as it comes directly after the turbo. That's another thing to note. If you're replacing these pipes, know that the entire pipe is going to be warm, and so will the hose clamps, so make sure to cool the car off completely. If you've replaced your diverter valve, which I highly suggest, you're going to have a reusable hose clamp here, and my guess is it'll be really easy to take off. Now, unless you've replaced your N75, you're likely going to have a single-use hose clamp here. Your goal here is to take the single-use hose clamp off of the bottom flange of the N75. This will connect directly to the charge pipe and is the smaller of the 2 tubes we're putting on. Here in the next few weeks, I'm going to make a video explaining all the different types of the N75 valves and when I suggest upgrading. After you've freed the 4 ends of the 2 tubes, you can simply slide them all out. Looks like the hose doesn't have a ton of cracks on it, but I'm going to replace it anyways for aesthetics and because it's probably going to in a little bit just because it's literally on the hottest pipe in the car. Putting these 2 pieces side by side shows you what 20 years of heating and cooling does to silicone tubes. This pipe barely holds its shape anymore, especially when you squeeze it, and you can see cracks along the side as you do so. We want these pipes to stay their shape no matter how much pressure is going in or out of them. These were very much so due for an upgrade, and you can see some of the boost leaks they probably caused. If you ask me, I'm always going to recommend reusable hose clamps for these kind of applications. This is the more annoying one to put on, so I'm going to do this one first, and I suggest you do too. Putting the new parts on is honestly a lot easier than taking the old parts off, so you can just reverse the process we did earlier. Now I know the N75 is very important in governing the wastegate, so I wanted to make sure this connection was very strong. The other end of the small tube goes onto the small end on the charge pipe. Next, we've got to put on the big one, which connects to the diverter valve itself. My rule of thumb for any time you use reusable hose clamps is that you need to go through and double check every single one after you put them all on. This is a really simple and honestly cool way to make your engine bay look that much better. I love the contrast of the black and red, and I can't wait to make the engine bay look even better. Once both these hoses are on, I simply turned the car on and took it for a test drive around the block and then on some back roads for fun. The car feels great. I can't tell if it's because I haven't driven it fast in a few days or if the new parts just improved the throttle response that much, but the car felt much more responsive under throttle. Either way, I was completely stoked this car was driving the way I wanted it to. I took the car home, shut it off, thinking that this would make for a fun video. The next day, however, I was gifted with a little bit of a surprise. I was driving to the gym when I noticed my coolant temperature was a lot higher than it should have been. Naturally, I thought my car was overheating and that I was going to melt my head gasket, so I decided to put the clutch in and coast to a stop. I opened the hood and checked the coolant reservoir, and that was fine. I also thought it was very mysterious how quickly the coolant came down to a normal temperature again. You can see it here go down. For something that was actually pinned at 120 degrees Celsius, going back to 90 that quickly is kind of unlikely in my opinion. This made me think that my car wasn't really overheating, but I just had a bad sensor. I figured it was okay to diagnose in the morning. I decided to use the secret menu to get a live and digital reading of my coolant temperature while I drove to the gym the next day. To access this menu, hold recirculate and the upper fan, then simply scroll to 49C. When you hit recirculate again, it'll show you a live feed in Celsius of your coolant temperature. This is the same sensor as the one that's on the dash pod, but this one updates a lot more regularly since it's not a weighted analog sensor. I figured it would be an okay idea to drive to the gym slowly and keep an eye on this just to make sure my car wasn't truly overheating. This drive was really nerve-wracking, and I had to pull over a few times to let my car cool down. It's always a good idea to err on the side of caution when you're dealing with overheating problems, because they can really hurt your engine. I still wasn't sure if it was just a faulty sensor or if my car was actually overheating, but both of these gauges were showing the same data. Shoot! Not good! Oh god! I was literally a minute away from the gym when the car overheated in this 20-degree weather, as you can see. I apologize for the low video quality. It's entirely because I didn't plan on my car breaking, so I just have my phone. I don't have my camera on me. That's kind of beside the point. I gotta figure out how to get this car home before it either melts the head gasket if it hasn't already, or overheats and I can't drive it at all. First thing I'm gonna do is make sure that the fans come on low, because I'm thinking I can maybe limp it home if the fans are at least working, and I know the best way to do that. Turn the car on, turn the air conditioner on, and the fan should always be at low speeds if the air conditioner is on. So that's what I'm gonna do. Got the AC on, and that is a problem. We have no fans. Okay, so that tells me that either the fan's crapped out or something. I'm gonna start the car and see if the fans come on. I'll turn the AC on completely just to see if that does anything. Okay, I heard something, so we'll see if the fans are on now. Thank God it's so cold, because it's taking forever for the temperature to actually go up. If it was not 30 degrees outside, I think we would be in a much bigger problem. But as you can see, the engine's heating up way faster than it should for 32-degree weather. Oh yeah, yep, we're creeping up. Literally coasting now. Hope we make it home. Past there. When we get to about 95 degrees Celsius is when the standard speed fan should come on. We're gonna pull off up here and check to see if the low speed fan comes on from that. Aircon should have put it on, but it didn't. Yeah, we gotta let this car cool down hardcore. By now, the fast speed fan should have come on. I'm very surprised they didn't, so we're gonna pull off at this gas station. Oh my god, this is so stressful. Our goal is to get to the gas station up there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Will we make it? Okay, so that now went to 111. It dropped down 10 degrees. Okay, we're gonna just go up here, hope to God that the fans are at least coming on. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness there's a spot. Okay, so we're at 113. We're gonna very quickly open the hood. Very, very quickly, before it cools down too much, because the fan's gotta be on right now. Or it better be. We're at 114. Yikes. Our radiator fans are not working at all. That's not good. We need to basically diagnose that more, but my goal for right now is just to get it back and hopefully not be stranded. I really hope so. Oh god. Oh, this car is going so good. What a way to start 2022, am I right? Oh my god. So I'm gonna let it cool down just a little more and then we're gonna go. I can't tell if I'm excited or not excited. I think the main problem that's causing this overheating, which the car seems to actually be overheating, is basically the fact my radiator fans aren't coming on whatsoever. Obviously a problem. Temperature's coming down so quickly just because it's literally freezing outside, as you can see. I had to pull over again a few times actually in the last mile of my journey because I just wanted to shut the car off and make sure that we're fine. Car would probably be okay to make it the next mile and a half that it has to make, but I don't really want to risk it. I'm going to kind of chill, and then when temperature dies down, I am going to try it again, and we'll continue the ride home, and then hopefully do some more diagnosis tomorrow when it's light out. Yeah, we'll see. This car is full of surprises, and this is a very warm start to 2022 on a very cold day. I managed to make it home, and for that, I'm really grateful. I'll be diagnosing and, fingers crossed, fixing this problem in the next episode. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you learned something or enjoyed it just a little bit, consider dropping a like and subscribing. Thank you so much for all the support. Have a wonderful day.